The rise of the atomic age and the advent of the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union brought a new arms race that gave way to all sorts of mysteries related to the extraterrestrial and paranormal. Deep and inexplicable secrets have fascinated Americans, from the top-secret and mythical Area 51 to the Roswell incident. Such has been the case of an ominous and strange-looking pyramid reminiscent of those erected by the ancient Egyptian pharaohs. Except this one was built in the arid landscape of Utah. The bizarre structure, which can be appreciated through satellite imagery, is the burial tomb of one of America's secrets. It's hidden from prying eyes by a unique feature. No one can get close to it. When the United States joined World War II, the American government and the military began working together to establish secret military bases with restricted access to servicemen and specialists. All these bases were conceived for several strategic, technological, and operational reasons as part of the broader effort to secure an advantage over Germany and Japan. The war led to rapid advancements in technology and weaponry. To maintain an edge, the U.S. needed secure, secluded locations where new weapons, such as the atomic bomb under the Manhattan Project, could be developed, tested, and produced away from enemy spies and potential sabotage. Sites like Los Alamos in New Mexico became central to these efforts, leading to breakthroughs that would contribute significantly to the war's end. Secret bases provided a controlled environment for innovative tactics to be honed and for troops to become prepared for unique missions, including those behind enemy lines. Furthermore, these bases became hubs for intelligence gathering and counterintelligence operations, where operatives were trained for espionage activities, such as those from the Office of Strategic Services, or OSS. Nonetheless, no secrets remained buried forever, and with World War II already behind, rumors began to emerge about some of these facilities in the late 1940s. Despite the war's end, the American secret bases continued operating, with some of them even increasing their activity. Operation Paperclip, the capture of German engineers and scientists, provided the U.S. military with newer technology that paved the way for the Cold War and the arms race against the Soviet Union. The atomic age and the advent of jet aircraft led to even more profound and classified testing away from ordinary civilians and American politicians. Still, leaks were inevitable, such as the New Mexico Roswell incident of 1947, alerting the American populace of secret tests conducted around the U.S. Around this time, the mythical Area 51, an Air Force facility located within the Nevada Test and Training Range, also arose, leading to more public speculation. Still, the government and military doubled down on these top-secret bases to win the fight against the Soviet Union. They kept building more of them at undisclosed locations, leading to new Area 51 rumors outside the state of Nevada, this time in the heart of Utah. The military set up a facility 6 miles east of Green River, Utah, next to the current Interstate 70. The cover-up for the top-secret base was a uranium mill operated by Union Carbide from 1957 to 61. While the civilian operations continued, the military rapidly built an impressive sub-installation of the White Sands Missile Range for Air Force and Army rocket launches. The launch complex, constructed within a shallow valley, spans 4 miles from the easternmost to the westernmost point and stretches 1 mile in width between the northern and southern boundaries. This expansive site included a total of 10 major buildings and structures strategically placed across the valley. The remnants and foundations of some of these buildings can still be seen today. The site was baptized as the Utah Launch Complex, and in typical secret base fashion, it was set up like a small town, with all the commodities necessary for the personnel on base to enjoy life, even in a distant and secluded place, while minimizing the need to leave the compound. Remnants of the base today are a testimony of the former military complex. At the primary entry point to the administrative headquarters area of the complex, the guard shack opened up to reveal an array of facilities, including administrative buildings, a fire station, a church, a recreation hall, and a gym. Deeper into the base, the concrete launch sites of missiles, their launch pads, and heavy equipment, such as cranes used to manipulate them, are slowly falling prey to the elements. The Army and Air Force launched Pershing and Athena missiles from the Utah Launch Complex, aiming for the White Sands Missile Range hundreds of miles away in southern New Mexico. From 1964 to 1975, the base would conduct over 250 launches, of which 140 were of the Athena missile. The Athena RTV was a test vehicle designed to simulate the re-entry of an intercontinental ballistic missile, turning into one of the most used assets of interstate missile tests in the United States. As for the Pershing, it was a solid-fueled two-stage theater ballistic missile that replaced the PGM-11 Redstone missile as the first nuclear weapon of the U.S. Army. Over 750 of these missiles would be developed by Martin Marietta between 1960 and 1969. The powerful Pershing had a mass of 10,000 pounds and carried a W-50 nuclear warhead with a blast yield of 60, 200, or 400 kilotons of TNT. Overall, the Pershing has a length of 34 feet, a diameter of 40 inches, and could achieve a maximum speed of Mach 8 with an approximate range of 460 miles. Throughout the launches, there were mishaps. For instance, on July 11, 1970, Athena Missile No. 122 was launched in the middle of the night, and instead of heading for the White Sands Missile Range, it set course for the south, straight into Mexico. To make matters worse, the 50-foot-tall, 60,000-pound Athena was carrying 2 containers of the radioactive element cobalt-57. Fortunately, the missile landed on desolate ground, and Mexico only submitted a formal protest. For 4 years, this base operated alongside Union Carbide's uranium mill. According to the U.S. Department of Energy Office of Legacy Management, the mill, quote, operated as an upgrading facility for uranium ore. The mill processed 183,000 tons of ore during its 3 years of operation. It generated an estimated 114,000 cubic yards of radioactive tailings, a predominantly sandy material that covered about 9 acres to an average depth of 7 feet. During the atomic age, uranium production played a crucial role. Uranium, often found in nature, is composed mainly of 2 isotopes, U-235 and U-238. The former is the primary fissile isotope of uranium. Nuclear reactors produce energy by fission, which involves splitting U-235 atoms and releasing heat energy. The Department of Energy Grand Junction Office states the milling operations created process-related waste and tailings, a sand-like material containing radioactive and other contaminants. These tailings contain the radioactive decay products from the uranium decay chains. Their long-term storage has always been highlighted as extremely dangerous for public health. And that is precisely what happened at Green River Launch Complex. When the Army and Air Force ceased to operate the launch sites in the late 1970s, and those 114,000 cubic yards of radioactive tailings turned into a giant pile of radioactive waste. The ominous waste was arranged like a pyramid of ancient Egypt, echoing the resting places of the pharaohs in the land of the Nile. Like those past marvels, the pyramid-like Green River can also not be disturbed or moved unless the newcomers seek to perish at the hands of radioactive poisoning. The mill stood unused for decades until the state of Utah took over the site in 1988. The Department of Energy then assumed responsibility for managing the disposal of the toxic tailings. What followed was the building of a cell where the radioactive waste was gathered. The result was a mound that measures 450 feet by 530 at the base, rises 41 feet above the land, and takes up over 6 acres in the 21-acre site. The cell was excavated to bedrock level and lined with 6 feet of low permeability soil. The unique cell design promoted quick runoff of precipitation to minimize leachate. A security fence encircles the pyramid, warning people of the imminent danger behind it. The mound grew to its impressive size thanks to the contribution of 17 other sites producing radioactive waste in the region. It's known today as the Green River Uranium Disposal Cell. When appreciated from the sky in satellite imagery, the pyramid evokes the mysterious and the paranormal, reminding the American people of the secrets buried by the U.S. military during the decades of the Cold War.